Hey, welcome back
Hey,
to Girl Chat Sports. It's Mo and Mal here on a West Coast Wednesday. Mo.
yes,
How we doing?
hump day. I'm good. Good.
Man, it is someday. I'm already
Yeah,
tired. I'm still tired from the weekend. That's all I can say.
yeah. You're not
It's
built
been a
for
lot.
the life.
I'm not,
Not built
I'm
for it
not
at all.
built for the life
I get it.
at all.
I get it. You're not. A lot of people aren't. It's tough. It's tough. It's a hard road to hoe.
We will get to that and what we're discussing. But first, May has been Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And we had not really talked about that much yet. So I wanted to just shout out to all the Asian American the API family out there, and also to recognize some of those that I feel have been great contributors. I think we all know people like, Naomi Osaka, Tiger
Right.
Woods, Yao Ming, Jeremy Lin, Manny
Right.
Pacquiao. I mean, lists go on.
Right.
There's some other ones that we maybe should know about.
Yeah.
Apollo Ono, of course, one of the Olympic great speed skaters. I think he was actually from Washington too.
Wow.
He holds the record for the most Olympic medals by a U.S. Winter Olympian. You've got Chloe
Nice.
Kim, the first woman in
Right.
Olympic history to win more than one half pipe snowboarding medal. Hideki Matsui, the first Japanese person to win an MVP in the World Series. Of course, the guy, Ichiro Suzuki, the first Japanese
Mm-hmm.
position player ever in MLB history. As well as Julie Chu. She was the first member of the women's national hockey team that won 5 world championships. Christy Yamaguchi, of course, we know her. If you're old enough, remember her to be a gold medalist winner from the 1992 Winter Olympics. And then for the Washington Mystics, they actually got Ryu Machida, who signed on, I believe, this year and has been a pretty powerful force. She actually played for the Japanese Olympic team this last
Oh
year,
wow.
too. So, yeah, pretty impressed. She's only 5'4", and this girl is fast. So
Nice.
watch out for her at those Mystic games. Yeah. Shout out to them. I think we've all, of course, we know the Suns lost. They
Mm-hmm.
lost pretty disappointingly in Game 7 to the
Yes, I
Dallas
did.
Mavs. And I think nobody as much as Patrick Beverley, Pat Bev, was hating on Chris Paul and his performance and basically him not being a great athlete. And Pat Bev has been the topic of discussion, whether it be like KD or Dame Lillard chimed in. Danny Green went off in a podcast about him. They're all talking just about how bad he was, and this was a couple of the tweets that they had shown in regards to him. But any thoughts on Patrick
Matt
Beverley and
Barnes.
his opinions?
Matt
Oh
Barnes
yeah,
had a lot to say and owned him, and he was right
yes he
in
did.
everything
Yes he
he
did.
said. So, I
Well,
mean, it's one thing to talk about people's playing performance, but you're a role player. You're also just like you're a role player, and you're just like you're not a veteran like Chris Paul. Chris Paul's been in this league for many years. The man is what 34 years old,
mm-hmm.
35. I just think you need to not go so hard on someone's downfall. You don't kick them when they're down. Especially
And we
when
all, yeah.
everybody was thinking that the Suns was going to make it. It wasn't just about trash talk.
And they were at home
Everybody
in the
thought the Suns,
valley. They
but
thought
everybody
all
thought the
this was
Suns were
going
probably going to
on.
win the championship. We knew that Chris Paul's days are numbered. He only
Yep.
had so many shopping days left till Christmas. They were the number one West Coast team in the league. I mean, they were number one just in the Western Conference consistently. They never fell short of that. And that was predicated to them possibly winning this championship for Chris Paul to announce a retirement or whatever comes next in his path. But that didn't happen. So I
No.
don't think it had anything to do with Chris Paul playing a poor performance. I think it had a lot to do with Devin Booker not playing a great performance and stepping up and taking the lead when your veteran
Yeah.
is down. You have too many young Tito's there to let it all ride on Chris Paul's back, and you guys don't step up and do anything. But that's not right. That's not right.
I mean, they were down 30 points in the first half. It went up
Yeah.
to, I thought, okay, 30 points, something's going to happen. They're going to come back. No, by the end of the third quarter, it was 42 points, and they lost by like over 30 points. It never got okay. It never even got close. It was just terrible.
No, it was god awful because the team didn't step up for Chris Paul. Why would you let this man, this older gentleman, carry the load when you
It,
guys clearly, if he goes down, who's next up? Devin Booker sure can't hold that position to be a floor general. and execute. DeAndre Ayton can't. And shout out
No.
to Lil Wayne because he was sitting courtside and he said he heard Monty Williams say something to Aiden about, you just let this all go and let the team down. You're not even doing
And Mark
anything.
Cuban went in on him.
It's crazy. See? Because I'm sure they did have a little cockiness and edge and ego. Who wouldn't? You guys are number one.
Everybody is
in the West. You guys were remaining undefeated, have very low losses as a record in regular season. I mean, I get it, but it happened. And I just don't think you had to go in that hard on Chris Paul, especially with the amount of points he scored in his career to Matt Barnes' point to none in comparison to what Pat Beverley has done in his career. So, yeah, I don't know. I need people to be humble and sit down. Shoot.
Very humble and take several seats, please.
Mm-hmm.
So there was an update today regarding Brittney Griner. Of course, yesterday was the NBA's draft lottery that took place, and Malika Andrews sat down with Commissioner Adam Silver, and they discussed the situation. He kind of, again stated how they took the stance they're on because they were advised by political figures and trying not to make it, super publicized, but that he is working with the WNBA commissioner, Kath Engelbert, and they are working together and talking with, the White House and different political and embassy members to see what the best thing is to get her home and to get her home safe. So hopefully something can happen soon. I mean, it's just...
Well, I knew the reason of them not necessarily wanting to make up a political stance because now we're in a position where she's treated like a political pawn. Yeah. And it probably would have heightened it even worse if they were making moves and stances and all of that. So I get that. But it's a shame. And no one is talking about the fact that there could be other theories to her getting jammed up that have been mentioned in several different podcasts. Everybody thinks it's her. You shouldn't have had that on you. How do you know that she had it on her or they didn't plant it on her?
They don't know.
They've done that in the past to U.S. people. She's a star in Russia, played over there for 3 or 4 years with the offseason of WNBA. So she's very recognizable, highly noted over there, making money over there. So how do you know it's not a setup for her to be this political pawn and ask for such a big ask and trade for her to an arms dealer? That's a pretty big ask.
And the other thing too is she's played there for how many years?
Well, that's what I'm saying.
You think she wouldn't know? You think she wouldn't know not to do it?
Exactly.
I don't know.
But no one's talking about that. Everybody's assuming that she's just stupid and how could you have that in your bag when they're not thinking forward or thinking other kind of possibilities.
Especially this, out of all the years that she's done this, and then it happens to be during the one when all of a sudden there's like this world wars are happening and Ukraine and Russia are going at it. So shout out to Donnell in the chat. What's up to Let the Ball Down? Shout out to everybody out there. If you're watching, please share, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're going to get into a little discussion that's not so much sports oriented, but we want to talk about hot topics because here in Las Vegas this weekend, me and Mo both attended the Lovers and Friends Festival, which took place. And later it came out, I think it was yesterday, that there was a young lady who was only 22 years old who had passed away from a medical issue she had. She was taken to the hospital during that event. There was an incident that happened during the festival on Saturday night before Usher and Little John and them came on, that there was supposedly
it's like around maybe 10 o'clock.
Could have been possibly a shooting. People were running around. The people that were in the main stage areas were getting trampled and pushed around. And later to come to find out, Las Vegas Metro had investigated it and there wasn't a shooting. And the music was back on. Acts were performing again. This was right around, I think, when you went to go see who was the last?
Drew Hill was at 10. Drew Hill was at 10 o'clock. They got into one song and then it was over.
Yeah,
so that was around 10 p.m.
And then, of course, there's the onslaught of complaints that have been happening about the festival.
Rightfully so.
The heat, water issues, toilet paper, trash, no shade, a whole bunch. Now, I'm a newbie at festivals. I haven't even been to one since I was probably doing them back in college, and they weren't even festivals. It was just like an all-day like summer jam or a summer fest.
That's basically what this was.
Then. Right? This is... but probably even worse. I mean, at least now we have social media. Back then they didn't. So at least, we can hear about things now. What's up, Natalie? Thanks for joining in. So It was hot. We're in Vegas. They're having a day concert on a predominantly all concrete venue, with strips of grass, which wasn't very many. They had two shaded areas that I could tell of that were not in the VIP sections. Even the VIP sections didn't have no shade either. That was pretty unfortunate. If you even paid that much more money to be going to the festivities.
Right.
Well, I'll start with the pros. Pros, I got to see Lil Kim, even though she got delayed, and we can address the con to that as well. I got to see Twista. I got to see some of the acts that I went to see. I had, circled certain acts I wanted to see. Got to see them. It was great. For me, they let you take a plastic, like 32-ounce water bottle in there. I never had an issue going to get water. Like if, when I needed water, I went to one of the water distribution things and there was always water there. Now, when I first entered, that water was hot, like boiling water. I can only assume it's kind of like your yard hose. When it's out in the sun all day, the first water out that hose is going to be hot and then it cools off. I don't know what their tanks were like or that situation was like. So are those situations, and to begin with, the bathroom situation wasn't bad. You didn't have to be in VIP to get like a regular bathroom. There was porta potties in certain areas, but there was a regular bathroom that was pretty nice to start with. Yeah, that'll be my pros. Did you have any pros, Mo?
I mean, I got to see Jodeci.
Yeah, they were great.
To see Little Kim, I had a good time. I did. I did have a good time. I mean, you were getting to the cons. I was waiting for you to do your whole pros and cons thing, and then I go. So, I mean,
I was just gonna go with pros, and then we'll start in on some cons.
Well, yeah, I had a good time. I mean,
yeah,
for what it's worth, I don't know. I've done better, so I can't. You can't tell me to add any pros.
Like I said, I'm a newbie, so that's why But for cons, they're definitely. I heard that they were. We didn't know coming into the concert. It was told that there'd be no re-entry, and then about halfway through the day on Saturday, they're like, "Oh wait, go ahead and you guys can re-enter." So we didn't really plan ahead to be wanting to leave or coming back, so we were just staying there all day. But I know on Sunday and even the rest of Saturday, you could leave and come back as you wish, which may be beneficial for some.
They added that because people were leaving and weren't coming back.
Yeah. And they were given a bunch of, I know Sunday they were given the water. They had the cans of water. We didn't get those cans on Saturday.
We didn't get them for free.
Yeah, we didn't get them for free.
We didn't get them for free. Let's be clear. They were $5. We didn't get them for free. And they ran out of them too.
Oh, Lord. Yeah. And there wasn't enough shade. For as many people as there was at this concert, they didn't even offer half the people shade. There were like little patches of shade, and you had to literally try to. I know me and Allie were moving through people, trying to just find a little spot in between other people that were sitting down just to sit down and relax and into some shade. There was not enough shade. That was an issue. Even with the hat, even with the fan, you can't. And on Saturday we had all sun. Like there was no clouds. I know Sunday had a little more cloud coverage, which can sometimes kind of help. We're looking at 100 degrees. I mean, with or without the clouds, it's sun and hot. So that wasn't great. And Little Kim, who was supposed to be on, I think it was like 3:30 or something like that, didn't come on. I thought she didn't show up because I know Foxy Brown I really wanted to see. Foxy didn't show up. She couldn't be there. But Lil Kim, I thought wasn't coming on. It wasn't until I went on Twitter to make a rant and somebody had posted a comment because apparently the festival posted on like their Instagram story, she'll be coming on later at like 8:30. But if you didn't have social media or you didn't have any service, because service was terrible there was no cell service for most people. They were having a hard time connecting to their providers while there was no Wi-Fi. You wouldn't have known. There was a lot of people we saw through the concert that we were talking about Lil Kim just in conversation. They were like, wait, she didn't come. Oh yeah, she did, but no one knew. No one knew. They didn't make an announcement about it. They didn't tell anybody over the, mass, on the stage microphone, hey, Lil Kim won't be back until 8:30. None of that. So unless you knew through a post on social media, you were not going to find out, which was terrible. And then they're flashing the schedule so that, on every stage you see the schedule didn't get updated as performers were having to move around or change time frames. That was bad. Yeah. That's mine, I think, for now, for good. I mean, yeah, there was a lot of trash everywhere. I mean, I only saw people picking it up in areas where we were sitting down. but there was trash everywhere. There wasn't any garbage cans where stages were or people were. Yeah.
Yeah. So what you get when you have a thing that's under financed and no capital. Very low rent, very basic. For people that don't know what a real festival looks like, shame on, sad, because you would think that was everything and not know what really an expectation of a festival looks like. Not knowing
because
that
you've gone to a lot, you've had a lot of experience, and so you were showing me today that there's apps they have for festivals where you can gauge and figure out where all your acts are and follow the updates and get advice or whatever and tips, but there's none of that for the Lovers and Friends.
Listen, you hit the heart, that's the schedule you want to go to. They send you a notification saying so and so is about to appear in 15 minutes, head over. Or you get an app saying, hey, did you go check out the Neon Garden? Or hey, did you go at Life is Beautiful? Did you go check out the Toyota tent and see the live lounge show over there? Or hey, did you know we have water stations over here? You get all of that on your phone.
Wow.
With the app. That's a real festival. For the price that you pay for one day here is 3 days at most. And like I said, if you have good capital and financing behind it, it's not going to look low rent like this one. There was no affect. I mean, you had 3 maybe at the best photo spots. You could take little photos. Who does that?
Yeah,
and this is not concrete we're on. This is black asphalt. So black asphalt is like the street. It's absorbing all that heat for whoever was there for the daytime to be sweating it all out. And yeah, the water was hot. But, like I said, I wasn't getting water for the thing anyway. I usually just buy the water. But even still, paying $5 for the liquid death is crazy.
I was paying $5 for ice to put in my
Some
water.
were paying $12, depending on what vendor booth they went to, because all the vendors are independent businesses. And not to mention the businesses were even complaining about stuff shorting because of the heat. Stagehands were complaining about mics going out and equipment going out because of the heat. I mean, this was just not a prepared.
That was the other issue, was
festival.
The music going out. Like Lil Kim was performing and she had no sound for a while. We're all singing a cappella to one of her songs.
She has no song, and the DJ messed up her playlist. I mean, it was just bad. So it's unorganized. They didn't do sound checks. They didn't do any of these things that they're supposed to do nights and nights before. And even still, with that, you had DJs that were opening for these sets, but would never be specific on who's coming up next. Are you guys ready for the next act? I go to places where they're like, are you ready for so-and-so? They couldn't even name them. So then you had to play a guessing game. Well, who's going to be next?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was bad.
And part of that crowd issue. Well, and part of that crowd issue. Part of that crowd issue is you got the 2 biggest stages with the biggest top, headliners right next to each other. So all those people are sitting just right in that same area. At least the other 2 stages were kind of scattered out.
But they were alternating the stages. One would perform on one time, and one would close it and do
the
other.
But it keeps all those same people right there, all in a cluster, all, yeah.
I mean, the thing of it is I've been to that festival grounds before, and that's another thing. Those that have never attended festivals on that festival ground, there's also expectations with different types of festivals that host on those grounds. I've seen it be amazing when Amazon did Intersect Fest. You had a drone light show at night. You had domes for all of the stages.
Wow.
You had tents to go in. They had cooling places. They had everything because they have money behind Amazon. So they did it up. They had a dodgeball court where people could play dodgeball. They had a little tournament thing on. They had all this affect and all these visual displays and all this stuff. And they bought the Wi-Fi for the area for the updates. I mean, Day in Vegas was a little bit basic, but they had an app to schedule and they had updates and you could get that. Wi-Fi was hit or miss. But they still had a little bit of affect, but they still had all their guests on time performing, no sound issues, none of that bull jive that we're running into with this. So again, if you've never been to a festival before, you may not know what a good festival looks like. I understand if people say, I had the time of my life. I get that. The lineup was crazy stupid. I mean, it was one of those epic lineups you could never, ever see in your life again. But again, I've been to Essence, didn't have no problems. Life is Beautiful. Didn't have no problems. Was going to go to Smoking Grooves, didn't go to that one, but everybody said that one was cool too.
Yeah.
It had a little basic stuff, but it still was an organized.
Plus having a little more spread out too, even. Like I feel like, most of those like Life is Beautiful and Essence, you're a little more spread out and places you to get to and be at. But
Essence is a super dome. So you're in one place, but they have those super lounges that you go to and it's easy to navigate. They're handing out pamphlets with maps in them. They have staffing there to guide you. They had no staffing here. I barely saw security. And where was the police? Usually these folks would be having a big metro presence. I ain't seen none of that. Then not to mention they had these cooling buses, they said on the news, where people were waiting in line.
Cooling buses?
Cooling charter buses.
I never even saw that.
Where people could wait in line to get on a bus to cool off.
No.
And you think if people are on the bus cooling off, do you think they're going to get off immediately?
Stop.
No, so you're waiting in line in the heat for cooling. It was bad. It's piss poor organization, very low rent. I personally knew it was suspect the minute that flyer came out and saw all those acts to be done in one day. I thought that was unreal. I was like, that's not even realistic. Unless they do.
It should have been a 2-day concert and
for
put
the price
all the matches.
Yeah. But for the app, for what it was, I said they probably can make it work. I've been to Rock in Rio Fest on the festival grounds. That was the very first festival they did. They had a zip line going across when No Doubt was performing. They had all this other stuff. So again, if you've been to a real festival that's done right, you're going to look at this and be like, what the heck is this? This is a backyard barbecue. I mean, what did we pay for here?
We were frying.
You're literally going to a show. Not to mention, we live in a city that's Vegas, high entertainment. Everything is supposed to be above and beyond and over the top and all of that kind of stuff. This thing could have been at Craig Ranch Park and I would have been content with that. Could have been at the government complex. I would have been content with that.
The government amphitheater.
You know, it's one of those kind of things. Like it's that low budget that you could do it and move it there and make it 2 days or something and be okay. And then us living in Vegas, I'm totally jaded with a lot of the acts that were there because they're always here at somebody's nightclub when they put on the same full-on show with theatrics in the club. And you're indoors, keyword, inside. Cool.
Yeah.
Or poolside or something, you know? So
man, an epic pool party would be nice.
I'm sure they had a great time. I'm sure they did because the lineup, like I said, was epic and spectacular.
The lineup, the people we got to see was amazing. Yeah. You know, all in all, it ended up on a good time for us. But it was the worst festival I've ever been to in my life. And I said that while I was there. I said, this is the worst festival I've ever been to in my life. So something that I would never recommend. You know, you're better off watching it from. And shout out to C, where we watched the show from his balcony too. C. You know, to see this. I mean, they put no effort in it whatsoever. It's bad. There's probably gonna be lawsuits coming, especially then some young woman passes away. I mean, for medical reasons. That's terrible.
And that was before the alleged the stampede and all incidents. So the heat played a factor in that. So I wouldn't be surprised.
And I know, the heat, and then of course you're 20 something. You don't know about Vegas. Maybe it's your first time to Vegas. You're coming to the festival. You don't know about the heat. You don't know about not having any water or being hydrated. Like, it's a lot.
It is a lot. I mean, we all wanted to see Lil' Kim. That's cool. But I saw her Bad Boy tour too. But I thought this was also going to be a better chance to see her up close and personal from those years at the Bad Boy Fest. You know what I mean? Yeah. And it was cool. She was walking through little flags. I mean,
took her shoes off.
It is what it is. It is what it is. It's hot as heck. I mean, I don't know. Get it. Jesus.
All right. So moving on, our show wouldn't be the same without mentioning some Jugadores Locos because every week there seems to be more and more and more. There's always somebody. So to start off our Jugadores Locos section this week, we have Mr. Rajon Wando. So he is accused of pulling a gun out on his kid's mother and for threatening her life. The kid's mom and his ex is Ashley Batchelor. She was granted an emergency protective order on May 11th because of an incident that took place that day where she was trying to get her son to do some chores. Rhonda ripped the video console from the wall, was smashing things, told her she's dead, left the scene, returned with a gun, then asked to talk to his son and daughter outside the house, yelling and screaming at them. Eventually, I guess he left before his parents arrived. But in the protective order, she was talking about how he calls his son and daughter these ridiculous and horrific names. He's constantly like verbally and verbally and financially abusive to them. So yeah, right now it's protective order. There's been no charges filed against him, but Rajon Rondo is the same type of dude. And I've seen up close with his hands. Got that long pinky nail. Pinky nail. He's one of those guys. So not the long pinky nail. Not the long pinky nail. But the guy comes from a street type life. I assume he's not So
I'm not surprised by any of these. I think it's a heinous situation. And if these allegations are true, then he definitely needs to
Well, and I hope she can
get
stay
some
safe.
help, and then she can stay safe. And he needs to definitely have some accountability to all of that action.
Yeah,
Because that was just really bad. Like, that's just inexcusable to do that, especially for the children's sake and all of that.
and and the
mean,
kids are like fairly older, and you have to deal with your father calling you these names and threatening your mom and
I'm telling you, he's different. He's a different guy, but
it's gonna be
he's
future
definitely lost
therapy
his
sessions for sure.
for real. He just lost his mind. It's like,
Oh,
it sounded like
man.
it looked, the way you described that sounded like a manic episode to no level, to endless levels. Like, it was crazy. Like,
It's
just
terrible.
it's bad.
Speaking of manic, there's an update on Earl Thomas, who, remember we had talked about 2 weeks ago, there was a warrant that was issued against him in regards to his ex. And apparently someone saw him in a restaurant in Texas and called it in. He got arrested in his home city in Texas. So there's been no update as to if bail was posted or if there was a bail or what the situation is, but
did he literally think he could just walk around and just be like, oh,
and hang out and eat brunch on the patio or something? Like, what do you?
I'm Earl
But
Thomas,
it's that
I can do
mindset.
whatever I
It's the mental issues that you just feel like you're. I mean, you've had a warrant off your arrest for 2 weeks that you know of, and you're just going to be out in public like that.
His mentality was like, I'm Earl Thomas. I can do what I want. Whatever.
Also, another update.
It's crazy.
Hello. I mean, I don't know. Update on Cain Velasquez. So back in February, we talked about he had been detained because he had attempted to kill the person who was being charged with molesting his young relative. And he was detained like at the end of February. Well, he was denied for his second time for bail in this attempted murder case. And the judge was saying that, basically citing that he was reckless and had disregard for human life. Again, we all understand why he was trying to do this, but the fact is that you really tried to do it. Instead of letting the judicial system at least attempt to handle that. So he's still detained since February as well. Wow. Cain Velasquez. And
I understand.
Yeah, I understand. That one, I mean, I get it. I don't know if it's a tough one. Probably would have hired somebody myself, but whatever.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't even know.
Yeah. But so last night there was, I won't say these were Jugadores Locos, but it seemed like an epic brawl was happening. I attended the Las Vegas Aces game last night against Phoenix Mercury. Shout out to Miss Bollandy because we were sitting next to each other and she had tapped me briefly and I looked over and, next thing you know, you see.
And once again, CJ Joe Brown.
Wow. Do we know what happened?
So the only thing, there was no tea, but what I remember seeing is that, first of all, Skylar is like a very emotional player. I will put it nicely. I don't, every play that she's part of, she has a complaint. She's throwing up her arms. She's cry facing at people. It's always something that she's looking at.
Wow.
Everything is always, it wasn't her that did anything. It's always the other person. She's getting fouled. She's getting hit. She's getting whatever. So that's happening all through the first half. At one point before that took place, I remember there was a play, and I don't know if it was Skylar passing to Diana or if it was vice versa, but the pass was missed and it went out of bounds. I remember Diana looking like whatever, right? Well, next thing you know, there's this big hoopla on the bench, and it was pretty crazy. I know in the press conference later, the head coach, of course, our former assistant coach, Vanessa, she had mentioned, of course, emotions are high right now for the Phoenix Mercury. Right. Like, not only because your team, who was expected to do so great and having all these major offseason moves,
right,
is struggling for wins, is missing their star center. Yeah. And beyond the play of the center is the publicity or the story behind Brittney still being detained and how that's affecting the team and the morale and just the emotional kind of roller coaster the team is on. So I guess all that kind of transpired and blew up into one thing, but we haven't heard yet. There were supposed to be some Mercury players that were coming into the post-game interviews, and neither Diana or Skylar are part of that. So I guess we'll see. I guess we shall see.
Wow.
All I can say is that even when they went away for halftime, I couldn't have, just to be a fly on the wall in that room during the halftime. But when they came out, Skylar didn't even make eye contact with Diana until the game officially started. She was not even looking at her. She was completely like, mm-mm. So whatever they got going on, hopefully they can work it out, because they come back here on Saturday and play again at noon. So
okay.
It's going to be quite the thing. So for those of you out there that are looking to go to the Aces game, they've got still 3 more home games coming up. We had the one yesterday. They play the Lynx tomorrow at home, 7:00, which is also the Bill Lambier retirement and the Dollar Lane beer night. So coming out and support that. Again, Phoenix, the Mercury come back on Saturday for Kids Day. They're giving out little like clacker bobbleheads of buckets. And they'll also have a shoe drive for BG's shoes. I know she has like her shoe nonprofit to help get shoes donated. So they're doing a shoe drive, new or gently used shoes to be donated and given. I think it's to Shade Tree or something like that out here. And then, of course, on Monday, back here at the house at 7 p.m., you've got the LA Sparks coming in town. This, of course, will be the return of Miss Liz Cambage to Las Vegas. Should be interesting. So, but overall, great game for the ladies last night. I mean, all starters were in double digits. There really wasn't much activity off the bench wise. Kia Stokes is back from overseas. She did not play yesterday, and we didn't get a chance to ask Coach Hammond as far as when they will be putting her back into the roster, but she was there, so that's good news. Full roster. Yeah. And then also congrats to Jackie Young, who signed a multi-year extension, and then Asia Wilson, who had the Player of the Week for the WNBA Western Conference. Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I don't know. I know the Rangers and the Hurricanes went into overtime, but 2 of our former Vegas Golden Knights are in the Stanley Cup playoff round 2, playing for the Rangers, of course, and coaching for the Rangers. And I'm going to look that up right now only because I want to it was overtime. NHL over. Hurricanes won in overtime. So unfortunately, Rangers are down 1. But of course, our guy Ryan Reeves and head coach Gallant over there doing that thing.
Hey.
Yeah. Crazy.
See what happens
the
when
lights.
You leave a team.
Yeah, right. Oh, man.
Pete DeBoer's
Look
gone.
You leave.
And Pete DeBoer's gone. So what new winning team will he go? So what new winning team will he go to?
If he gets another team right off the set, who knows?
Yeah. But it seems to me like we do have a good luck thing. We send people still to playoff contention because we're Golden Knights, even though we didn't make it this season.
I don't know. I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens. I forgot. Donetta said that tension was still felt as if. Did you see them leave this morning? I wonder, Miss Bollandy, because I can imagine. I don't even know how they. That seemed like a fight that you're not going to be just getting over with in any instant. But I guess we'll see how that goes. So our lights, they're not playing here this weekend, but next Saturday is the $1. Then they're not doing beer nights no more. This is a $1 juice night. So $1 juice boxes with Jose Canseco. Yes, Jose Canseco will be in the house. They actually, all fans that bring a baseball glove, bring a baseball glove to the soccer match. If you bring a baseball glove, you're invited on field. You can catch pop-ups. They'll be hitting autographed softballs into the crowd. This is next Saturday, the 27th at 7 p.m. So
I think that's pretty dope, though. Jose Canseco's still a legend in the MLB.
Heck yeah.
I mean, so to have a fly ball pitched to you from him or anything or hit from him, like
I'm for it.
That's for it. Like that's totally like a new innovation too. Something that's soccer related.
These
that
lights, they got halftime stuff. They got the halftime party. So
I don't know. They always have something though. They always have good gimmicks, good marketing, and good things to draw a crowd out. And a dollar
So
juice
that'll be a
night.
good one. That's
It
Memorial
will.
Day weekend. I mean, of course, probably dollar bills would have been funner for people, but of course, dollar juices, I guess, will be just as
Well, they'll
great.
bring it for the kids. I mean, it's perfect. And you get your electrolytes and juices and stuff. Hopefully, not too much sugar in the
Get
juices.
get
Hopefully,
all
it's a
your
good look at the
electrolytes.
juice. Hopefully, it's a good
Yes.
look for for them. That, I mean, that's cute. I like that. It's a
Mhm,
great idea.
mhm. The Aviators, they're actually second in the Pacific League right now,
Well, that's
and
good.
they're on the road for a while, so they're not going to be back until May 31st when they play Sacramento. But June 1st, a Wednesday, is Pride Night and also Bark in the Park. So feel free to celebrate
Wait,
Pride
it's
as well
Pride
as bring
Night?
your dog.
They actually are
Pride
bringing a
Night,
Pride Night, huh?
Pride Night, and Bark in the Park is Wednesday, June 1st. Yes.
In Bark in
Remember,
the Park.
Andre had talked about that, but I guess
Oh, that's right. That's why I was like, Pride Night, Pride Night. Why did I hear that before somewhere? And it was him talking about it. He didn't need us
Yeah.
there anymore, right? To represent
He don't care about us no
Yeah,
more.
he said he didn't need us there anymore to accompany him to that. Yeah, no, that's fine. That's fine. I'll support
Yes.
their community from afar, I guess, since we couldn't be there for it.
Natalie asked if the juice was gluten free. Contact the lights, Nat.
Yeah, because we really don't know the brand of the juices. But
Yeah, we
let
don't
me tell
know.
Natalie though, at EDC they're gonna have gourmet food trucks that are gluten free and also vegan and other little stuff out there at the Speedway this weekend. They definitely, like I said, anything that's financed, they're gonna have all the bells and whistles. You can go to Life is Beautiful and all these other festivals and get
Well,
some
you know those
good stuff if you
EDC
want to.
people, they be on the vegan, gluten,
But any
everything
festival
else
goers
too.
on the vegan, like
Yeah,
be
of
conscious
course.
of that. It
Yeah.
doesn't even matter the genre of music because you saw that crowd wasn't all black. That was a
Oh
diverse
no.
crowd
Oh,
of
for
people,
sure.
and
Of all ages.
festival goers want all of it. They're all on the social
Mhm.
conscious liberation of we need our this, we need our that. So no, they were a mess at that other place, but you go to this one, it ain't gonna be no mess. They
Ain't gonna
specifically
be
said
no
on their
mess.
website it's gonna be gluten free and
Catering
vegan
to
free
all.
caterings to all. Like, come on,
I love it. I love it.
come on,
Not a whole
shoot.
lot in the NFL world
I
right
have
now,
no
but of
problems there.
course, last Thursday, the NFL full schedules got released. Of course, you've got your Raiders are
Oh yeah,
officially all lined up coming
yep.
to Seattle. Week 12, you got the
The
Broncos here.
the preseason game is what they just finally loaded and decided on right
Oh,
now
really?
of what
Okay, so
preseason was going to look like. We didn't have that
Jags,
schedule,
Vikings.
so
Is that the
yeah.
Dolphins?
So the
Yeah.
best one
Oh,
that
and
I'm looking forward
Patriots.
to. Yeah, that's going to be good with Josh McDaniels
Mhm.
over there. But the biggest thing I'm looking at is the Battle of the Bay when we play the 49ers here in Vegas, and
Ah,
also the Battle of LA when we go to LA at SoFi and play the Rams. Those are going to be
okay.
those two games that I just think are going to be ridiculously
And
great
you've
and
got the
epic.
Chargers and then you go play the Rams. You're just you're getting it all the
Yeah,
LA.
yeah.
Yeah, I know there's a bunch of Niner
That's
fans that
gonna,
have already pre-planned, paid for, and are already on their way to
honey,
Vegas
Vegas is going to be a
for
god
New
scene with
Year's.
that
I
battle for
mean,
the
plus it's
Bay.
New Year's too. It's like New
It's New
Year's
Year's Day.
Eve.
New Year's Day.
Yeah.
It's a New Year's Day
Well,
game.
they'll get the whole New Year's Eve experience here. Yeah, that's a lot.
I just hope
We've
no
got this.
LA people fights break out. I just hope everything is
No, they
peaceful.
will. The Seahawks, of course, announced have their schedule lined up. Of course, you got Russell Wilson coming in first thing for week 1,
That's
which will
going to be a
be
great game.
yeah. Those tickets for the nosebleeds are already going for like $380.
Oh
So
man.
yeah, it's going to be crazy. Your Raiders, of
Yikes.
course, are coming Mother's on a Thanksgiving weekend, so that'll be a big weekend there in Seattle. I've chosen to go to Detroit to the Lions game, so I've got my tickets, and we'll be heading out to Detroit for week 4. It was that or Kansas City, and I don't think anyone wants to be in Kansas City on Christmas, nor in
No.
like negative 20-degree
No.
weather. So
No. No. I don't want
since
a
they took
Christmas winter.
yeah. And since they took my Tampa game and sent it to Frank or to Munich, I'm definitely won't be going to Germany. That's for sure. But yes, so schedules are released and ready to go. Do you have an update on the Warriors score right now? We're
84-62 Warriors are killing it right now in the third quarter.
it was going back and forth there that first a quarter and a half, but as they rounded out that first half,
No, they just went on a run. They're on a total run. It's about to be the end of the third because it's less than a minute left.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So Warriors and Mavs are in the Western Conference Finals. We got the Heat and the Celtics that took place yesterday. I was surprised when I left to go to the Aces game. The Celtics were up by like, I want to say 8 or 10 points. This was like in the second quarter. I get to the Aces game and I turn it on just to kind of see the score. And now the Heat are up by like 13.
Well, it couldn't last too long because Marcus Smart is out. He's a defensive player
I was surprised.
of the year,
and Horford
as well
too.
as Horford. Yeah, and so
Yes.
Jason Tatum's got to try to do it on his own. Listen, you're a Bulls fan. You know what Jimmy Buckets can do. You cannot deny this guy. I mean, this guy is
41
points
right
last
night.
Yeah, quiet 41 points. A quiet 41 points. That crept up like nothing. Very quiet on the 41 points, but still. I mean, I still feel like Boston could split the home game series and go back to Boston 1-1 if Marcus Smart comes back. Oh my God, my power just went out. What the heck?
Are you serious?
Anyway, yeah. I don't know if it's the heat or what.
It's
the heat.
You got a candle?
I'm in the dark, y'all. Fade to black. Fade to black.
So for those that listen to the show, this won't make a difference. But for those that are watching it, it's pretty hilarious.
I'll be like your lanyard for the Aces media.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you text me saying. He texted me saying it's like, oh, it's
hey, yeah.
Hey, it's hey to black in here. I can't have this.
Oh my gosh. You don't got a candle?
Other units are. Yeah, I got a candle somewhere. I think all the units are like that too because
really?
The lights on the outside units are out too now. So
Mo.
It's the heat. I think we just do a little power surge thing, huh?
Dang Vegas.
Dang Vegas. Is it a heat wave? What's going on? This is crazy.
It's hot, but geez.
It is hot.
This is ridiculous.
It is hot. It is hot. Well, keep talking.
I'll keep talking. So the lottery, the NBA lottery transpired yesterday. First pick went to the Magic. The Thunder have second. However, the Thunder also got the second and the 12th picks. Rockets, Kings, Pistons, Pacers, Blazers. Dame was hot about the Blazers, only getting 7th pick, but hey, that's how the draft lottery works sometimes. Going into some baseball, I wanted to show one of Mo's EDC guys. I don't know, Stevie Aoki there going to be there this weekend, but he threw out the first pitch at the Red Sox Houston Astros game. I think it was yesterday or day before, and he definitely missed it by a mile. The ball flew up at least a good 10 to 15 rows behind home plate. And poor guy, they said that was officially worse than 50 Cent. And he is definitely one of, that's now the worst one. Natalie said it reminds her of NYC summer blackouts. Yeah. Mo's looking for, this is why you got to have your flashlights and your candles ready, because you never know when something's going to go down. Oh my gosh. And it's not even that dark outside, so I don't see why it's so pitch black inside there right now. Maybe the curtains. I don't know. Also in some Major League Baseball news, one of Mo's Dodgers is practicing his flexibility. Freddie Freeman, the first baseman. Look at that. This guy's doing like a full-on split. I don't know. Maybe he's in hot yoga or Pilates and he's getting the work in. So that's one thing. Also, Astros pitcher was carted off the field yesterday. This is something you don't see in baseball too much. You don't see players that are on the baseball field getting carted off. He didn't even, he wasn't hit. It was a leg injury while he was trying to run and cover first base. So yeah, he got carted off and that was unfortunate. We hope he's doing well. Yes. Mo, her power went out at her house. So she is looking for a candle or a flashlight. She's there. Just trying to find a way to be enlightened. Hopefully we're able to talk with her. I don't know. I don't know if Mo can hear me. Oh, hey.
It doesn't do anything.
That's all right. Just stick on it.
feel like I'm carrying an Olympic torch here.
Oh man. That's that's a lot.
Yeah.
You could always use like your flashlight on your iPad or something, maybe.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
Do I have a light on my thing? Yeah, I do.
I don't know.
I do. You're so smart.
One of
no,
your
I don't.
No?
What am I? What?
That's the ghost of Monisha.
Yeah, like I was,
they were like, "What's going on with Mo?"
Yeah, right, Dad. I know. We got a power outage here in the building. Everywhere. Sucks.
He's gonna be calling you soon. Like, what do you need?
Like,
can I bring you flashlights, candles?
I got my flashlights. I went
like,
just
who
in there to grab them.
Mo? What happened?
Yeah, what happened? Woo, scary. Yeah. It's the heat.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Bring on the heat. Yeah.
We'll get to wrapping this up. We talked a little bit about Israel. I wanted to show some of the WNBA style.
Yeah.
So this past couple of this is your girl Liz there, Natalie, ready and going. You've also got Michaela Onyewer. I can't even know how to pronounce her last name. I'm sorry. From Liberty. No. Onyewer. Onyewer.
Oh, okay.
And then she's from the Liberty, and then Arike Agumagwale.
Okay.
Yeah, she had the Janet Jackson.
That's what I was thinking.
For Janet's birthday.
That's the one I was thinking.
Yeah. And then you've got Kelsey Plum, KP doing it, of course, the Def Leppard. Listen, she came out in this suit last night. We saw the press at the post-game press conference. And of course, our guy B. Sal, he had his best Easter church Sunday colors on, suited and booted too. So Cassandra, shout out to the sports news, they had to take a picture of them two together because it was just so ready for church Sunday Easter togetherness that it was hilarious. So
wow,
great picture. Yeah. And then of course you got Chelsea Gray as well. Or not Chelsea Gray, I'm sorry, Chelsea Gray and Rakina Williams. Yeah, so that was good. Hilarious.
Oh, they were stylish with the crossbody little bags. I like it.
Styling. Look at you, the ghost of Monisha.
The ghost of Mo.
Natalie said, tell us a ghost story for summer camp.
Yes. It was on a Wednesday night, and a young girl was sitting here talking sports and doing her podcast when all of a sudden the lights go out.
This is going to be the cover for our show for this week.
And she's all alone in the house. And she notices all the buildings around her, the exterior sconce lights are out, that there's been a total power outage in the area.
You better find you a fan soon, because you know what that note.
I got a box fan, but I might need that. But then you need the power cord for the box fan. Yeah. Guess who's on the patio chilling tonight? This thing doesn't go as well as planned.
Oh man. Let's go ahead and get into some sneakers real quick.
Okay.
Your guy Virgil here, then the Louis Vuitton Air Forces are coming out starting at $2,100 a pair.
Right.
These
Isn't that crazy? Because he's deceased. That's why.
Starting. But I'm sure the starting ones are probably like those white ones in the far middle, right? But like those gold ones or like the high tops, those got to be going for like 35, who knows, however much.
Yeah.
So yeah, $2,100 for the Air Force Ones for the Virgil and Louis Vuitton Air Force One collection. These are going to be released to select Louis Vuitton clients with a chance for an early access in June. After that, it opens to a public at a later date. So you can't even get in with these unless you like on the LV, high up on the LV client list.
Wow.
Yeah. Expect these to probably be like $20,000 on StockX.
Oh my God.
You got the Air Jordan 2s and the is it Balvin?
J Balvin. You know the artist J Balvin? How he does his little concerts and stuff, and it sells out to the hundreds of thousands.
I don't really, but yeah. I mean, I know who he is, but I've never been to his
concert. Very popular. Yeah. He's big time.
But these are dope. They glow in the dark.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so I looked these up. These are slated to release sometime in October of 2022. So just to give you a heads up and be on the lookout for these. I think they're starting to push them a little bit, but yeah, no release date set exactly yet. Then you've got these new Crocs. It's the sophomore Croc. Is it Sally Bembury's?
Oh, I did see these online.
So it's the sophomore Croc. There's a draw that opens on May 24th. So they've got a lime green one, which, I mean, I wouldn't pass the lime green one. They have a white one. I think it's like a pink or a tan color they have.
I kind of like that pink.
Yeah, it's kind of like this new, I don't know. It's like a Yeezy Croc. Looks almost like, but I think the Croc is nice. I mean, it's not terrible. It's the sophomore line, they said. So these will be coming out with you have to get on like a draw, kind of similar to Sneakers app. That happens on the 24th. What was another one I had? Oh yeah, these come out tomorrow.
Oh, I like those.
The Nike Air Max 1 Light Matterroot.
Those are cute.
Yeah, those are kind of very spring, very summer. Could be fall. They're very nice. I like the colors. And then I actually like these ones for some reason. This is the Air Max 90, the Futura, the triple white. These come out on the 18th. I do need a new pair of Air Max white, all whites, but these are just, I don't know, some funky about them. I kind of like it.
Yeah.
So these will be out also on the 18th. And then of course, as a reminder, the Military Black comes out on the 20th. And we've got the AJ Low Fly Ease Gym Red. These come out on the 23rd. So if you look at that top right corner, you see the zipper there because you're basically able just to slip these on with the zipper. Fly Ease.
I like those. Those are really dope.
So these will be out on the 23rd of May. And then also a new Dunk Low is entering the chat. The Nike Dunk Low Reverse Kentucky. These will be out on May 24th. I do love nice.
Cool.
Yeah. So those are good. I also wanted to say, if anyone is watching and is looking for a dog to adopt, so one of the Tilly's Fosters, they had like a litter of 9 puppies in the last 14 weeks ago. There's one left. This is Opal.
Oh.
They're boxer mixes. She's about 14, 15 weeks old. She's been cared for. They literally delivered these puppies and have cared for them this whole time. If you want to adopt Opal, you can go to animalhelpalliance.org. They have a small fee for adoption. There's a application you can fill out, put in your information. She's a sweet girl. We hung out with her today. She's so full of energy. She loves running around. She's the last of the puppies. It's kind of like, oh, poor baby, last one to get picked. So if you're looking for a dog in Las Vegas, or if you're out there and want to adopt from Las Vegas, you can too. This is Opal. She goes by Opie sometimes. She's a cute. So, yes. Look
Cutie pie. When the lights go down in the city.
I feel like I should be playing some music for you or something. There should be some background music.
On the bay. Said I wanna be there in my city. There you go. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
A little background music for you.
I was gonna play Journey. I was singing Journey.
Drop an 8. Drop an 8. Drop an 8.
Drop an 8.
All right. Before we let you go, we're gonna do a girl power. Shout out to Kay. Kay Adams has been with the Good Morning Football for over 6 seasons. She decided to announce that she was leaving. I think that happened last week. She left Good Morning Football. Supposedly, she will be the leading candidate and host for Amazon Prime's Amazon Prime Video's Thursday Night Football pregame. There's been no deal or anything yet, but that's supposedly what she will be doing. And she also does the People. They watch the entertainment show that People has. She does the People show too. So she's a busy chick.
Okay.
Excuse me. That's busy. Anyways, Mo, the ghost of Monisha.
And the lights.
This would be perfect like a Halloween show.
In the city. Yeah.
Well, that's going to be our show.
I wish I could play Journey. I wish I could play Journey right now.
Mo,
I probably will when I pull my flashlights and everything out.
But hey, don't forget, you want to drain all your power either. So don't use every gadget because you want to still have something in case
Oh yeah, for
Power
sure.
doesn't come
My
back
phone
on.
is at a good percentage, and so is my iPad.
Okay.
It's at a good
All
strong
right.
90% right now.
Well,
So I
that's
don't want to
good.
have all the lights. Yeah, because I charge up everything, which is good.
All right, y'all. Well, thank you for tuning in. If you
Thank
just caught the
you.
tail end of it, don't worry. You can try again and press replay or go to our YouTube channel at Girl Chat Sports and subscribe and catch us again. Otherwise, we'll
Yeah.
catch y'all next week and see you later. Bye.
All right. We are out. Peace out.